We have with us now via Skype from, we have Dr. Alejandro Cañadas, who is an associate professor of economics at the Bolte School of Business at Mount St. Mary's University, where he teaches corporate finance, financial analysis, economics, and ethics in business. He's also with the IECO Research Institute at the University of Valencia. Dr. Cañadas earned his licentiate in economics from the Catholic University in Buenos Aires, Argentina, a master's in business administration with a concentration in finance from the University of Dayton, and his PhD in agricultural, environmental, and development economics from Ohio State University. 2017, he completed his master in biblical theology from John Paul the Great Catholic University. And Professor Cañadas' other areas of interest are economic theology, international finance, inequality and economic growth, as well as the moral implication of financial and economic markets. Currently, he's researching the different methodologies for measuring social impact investment. Alejandro is member of the, as I said, IECO Research Institute at the University of Valencia, and welcome, Alejandro.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Danilo, for the introduction. Thank you, Manolo, for inviting me. And I also would like to thank Tyler, Donna, Aurelio, and Nicolas for your wisdom and all the work that you are doing. I'm so excited that at least we can be online and we can interact, and I'm so sorry that I cannot be there in person. I would like to bring 3 ideas and 1 holistic framework of thinking to the conversation today about how to measure the good that business does. In January of this year, 2018, Lawrence Fink, founder and chief executive of the largest investment firm in the world, BlackRock, has caused a lot of noise in the investment world in a letter to business leaders on the 3rd anniversary of BlackRock's foundation. He expressed in that letter that every company needs to do more than making profits. They need to contribute to society as well if they want to receive the support of BlackRock. BlackRock manages more than $6 trillion in investments, making the largest investor in the world today. Mr. Fink wrote, and I quote, "Society is demanding that companies, both public and private, serve a social purpose to prosper over time, and every company must not only deliver financial performance, but also show how it makes a positive contribution to society." I do agree with Mr. Fink, and I want to make explicit a very simple and very important assumption, which is not always evident. And this is my first idea that I would like to bring to the conversation, and this is that there is an intrinsic good in business. The good that business does contribute to the common good in society, and we should have a good and positive impact. In the IECO, we believe that in order to educate for a positive contribution in society, we need a theory of good business that is connected to a theory of good work, that is connected to a theory of good human action, that is connected to a theory of good ethics. All of these theories should be interconnected to the holistic framework of what I call good system or human ecology that interrelate these models of man, work, and business with its impact in the society. Management is a human action, is not a mechanical activity alone. It is carried out both by people and for people, and this involves ethics. As a human being, throughout our actions, each one of us can affect the lives of others, and this is, I think, really connected with what Donna has just said, respecting the dignity of our peers, is so important. Our co-workers, our clients, our employers, our communities in which we live and work. The example that Aurelio and Nicolas already have spoken, even in our whole profession, in our industries, in our markets. One approach to ethics that we want and we have in the IECO is to consider the service or damage that we can have and the effect on human action. Because of this, ethics is an essential part of good management. And I like this idea that good ethics is good business. This is not a purely theoretical or abstract idea, but a very real and practical one with measurable consequences for the society and the common good. And Tyler has already mentioned a very practical way to measure that within an organization, asking individually subjective questions about flourishing. So in my second idea that I want to bring to the conversation today is this one. Our work has significant meaning, and we can strive for human flourishing. And I think that I'm following what already Nicolas' main point has been. Here at the university, when I teach corporate finance and in my class, I use the framework of the Charter Financial Analyst Program, which is called the CFA. And as you might know, the CFA is the most prestigious program that requires the high ethical standards all over the world for any professional working in finance and investment. In the CFA program, 15% of the whole curriculum is based on the importance of ethical decision-making process in the profession. As professionals, we believe that businesses and financial markets thrive on trust. The CFA defines trust as a strong belief in the reliability of a person or institutions. I show my students, in particular, how individual actions in the financial markets affected trust in the financial crisis in 2008. Research also shows that laws, regulations, code of ethics are very important and necessary to guide ethical behavior in organizations, but they are not sufficient. Ethical conduct goes beyond what is legally required. What is more, to act ethically, individuals need to be able to think and to make good choices, even in the absence of clear laws and rules. In practice, ethics require judgment and willingness to act upon. The theory of work says that ethics is lived in our daily work, as we already have had the great examples of Aurelio and Nicolas that they have shown in their own companies. Our good work is the fruit of good ethics. Human work is necessary for professional development and our human flourishing, as already Tyler has explained how important is human flourishing. There is a difference between a job which could provide earning a living or a paycheck and a vocation, which is a particular calling to serve others and the common good. Only the vocation produces true professional leaders in business and finance. Saint Jose Maria Escrivá said that work is even a source of human sanctification, because it is the realization of our personal vocation to love and serve others, and it is based on good ethics. So I was thinking about this when using the three connections of high purpose and love that Donna just described a few minutes ago. Remember that ethics encompasses a set of moral principles and rules of conduct that guide our behavior, like honesty, fairness, justice, diligence, and the respect for others, and the respect especially for human dignity, as Donna has mentioned. Ethics is taken from the philosophy of the ancient Greece, and it is the guideline for moral excellence. Ethics come from the Greek ethos, meaning character, which really highlights that our human character has to be formed through the repetition of good acts that creates virtuous actions, and through the right formation of our consciences to learn the universal truth, values, and principles which are the foundation of our actions. So based on this framework, I want to bring my third point, to the conversation, which is the importance of finding ways to measure the real impact that companies have in the society. This reality also goes in line with the second point that Mr. Fink from BlackRock asked in his letter, and I quote, "To prosper over time, every company must not only deliver financial performance, but also show how it makes a positive contribution to society." The key question is how we measure the positive contribution, right? So that impact. Today, more and more, in reality, more and more companies, profit and non-profit organizations are actually measuring their impact regarding the effect on their profits, the planet, which is their natural environment and their natural resources, and people. And this framework is called the Triple P, or the 3 Ps. This is very useful, and in my research with Christine Adamo here at Mount St. Mary's University, we have found that $1 in $5 of total managed assets today are focused on the social impact, and this trend is growing and is going to be growing in the future. Also, we have found that there are more than 150 different methodologies that companies and organizations are using to measure social impact using any combination of these 3 Ps. So there is much need to create a method that measures the positive contribution of a company that is really holistic and takes into consideration the human ecology and not only the outcomes. From the IECO, we can help in this process by adding to the Triple P, profit, planet, and people, a fourth dimension which we call the organizational ethical quality. If good ethics is reflected in good work, which reflects the Aristotelian idea of virtue as human excellence, which leads to a good life or living well, or as Tyler has explained, human flourishing, measuring the organizational ethical quality dimension added to the Triple P would measure what we call ethical virtuousness of any organization, especially looking at their policies and actions. This, I think, is the revolution of small things that Aurelio has already mentioned. Ethics provides the moral foundation for sustainability within the human ecology framework to create true human development and good impact. So I do believe this is a practical way of humanizing business, and this is a way to measure our organizational, maybe the idea of gossiping success that Nicholas has already mentioned. Thank you very much.